Well, the holiday season's passed and winter is upon us, so that means there's going to be a lot of colder temperatures coming around and maybe some snow falling. And that leads to a lot of problems as far as the Greeley Fire Department is concerned because there's things that catch on fire. People use a lot of space heaters, electronics in the colder times in their furnaces, and we're talking fire safety today. We have Greg Becker from the Greeley Fire Department. Thanks for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
You are welcome. And this whole thing started because there's been a few preventable fires you guys had to deal with in the last few months, and one of those biggest culprits is space heaters. So let's start talking about space heater fire safety.
Perfect. Well, again, thanks for having me. We have had several recent fires here in our area, and the culprit has been those space heaters. Some of the rules that we really want folks to focus on with space heaters in their home or when heating their home. First, with any space heater, we want a 3-foot perimeter around that, so nothing within 3 feet, whether it's trees, whether it's furnishings, even with kids playing with it, because they can even get burned with them. And that goes not only for the portable space heaters, but also for fireplaces, anything along those lines. That 3 foot is kind of our magic number for them. The other part that we want folks to realize is these space heaters, especially the ones that you plug into the outlets in the homes, they draw a tremendous amount of current. With that, we only want those space heaters plugged directly into the wall outlet. So no extension cords, no power surge protectors, anything of that sort. We want them plugged directly into the wall, and they're the only thing that is plugged into that outlet. The other key part with our space heaters is when we're done using them, we want to make sure they get turned off and they actually unplug it from the wall. We don't want these plugged in on a constant basis. Only when the unit is being used should it be plugged into the wall.
Mm-hmm. So you're telling people that they can still use these, but they just need to take a little bit extra precaution because there's a lot of heat and a lot of electricity, and I'm sure a lot of the fires that get started are completely unknown to the people starting what they were doing anything wrong.
Absolutely. They're a tremendous tool that can help keep a home warm, help keep your family comfortable, but we do have to take some steps and precautions with them.
And if we go down that same route of heating homes, if we go beyond space heaters, is there any kind of actual furnaces or home heating solutions that you have tips for as well?
Yes. One is for your furnace or your home heating. You need to have that inspected and checked annually. That's with your ductworks, with that, have someone come out, a trained professional, to look at your furnace to make sure everything's working right. Because not only does it heat your home, but it does burn some fuel, and there's a chance that if it's not functioning properly, that you can get some CO poisoning and such in your home too. The other part is with your fireplaces, anything on those, you want to have those flues or your chimney cleaned annually. And the last part with fireplaces is make sure you have a sturdy screen in front of it. That way nobody can fall into it, but then also ashes or sparks don't come out of your fireplace.
All good knowledge. And you mentioned before with the space heaters too of the electricity and making sure they're done with things plugged in, but what other kind of electrical things should people be on the lookout for as keeping their homes safe?
Well, with the electrical safety in your home, again, we want to make sure if you're using any type of lights, anything along those ends, you want to make sure that you only are plugging in the amount that's recommended by the manufacturers, so we don't want to string a lot together, and with the Christmas season just being passed, that is something we see, but it's also something that's a consistent problem that we encounter. The other part with your electrical safety is having just not overloading that circuit, having one or two plugged in there. If you've got the old, how should I say, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, where you've got 13 things plugged into one outlet, that is not a good idea. We want to have just 1 to 2 things plugged into that. And if you are going to have a surge protector, it's just that one surge protector, not multiple extension cords.
Just because you can plug something in doesn't mean you should, right?
Absolutely.
And another big one that you guys have a lot to deal with is smoke alarms and carbon monoxide detectors. What should people watch out for those?
Perfect. And that is one of the biggest things people can do to keep their families safe and to make sure that if there is an emergency to where they can all get out safely. We all want to make sure we have functioning carbon monoxide and smoke alarms in the home. Those need to be tested monthly, and batteries need to be changed annually. The new smoke and carbon monoxide alarms actually have a 10-year battery, so you don't need to worry about changing the battery, but we still need to test to make sure those are working right. The other part that is critical with our smoke and carbon monoxide alarms is making sure we have them. And we come across a lot of citizens in our community that do not have these basic tools that can keep their family safe. And if that is the case, we've actually got some resources here at the fire department and such that they can come and visit with us, and we can make sure that we get those basic necessary tools and components in their home.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that a lot of people need to realize too, is that when you want to talk with residents and citizens, that it's much easier to do preventative work and answer questions for people and help them make sure they're doing the right thing than it is to wait till something's actually smoking, right?
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
And you put together these nice pamphlets. I'm holding one in my hand right here, but if people want to get one of these, they have lots of tips as well as contact information for the fire department. Where can they get those?
With our brochures, they can find those at any one of the fire stations or actually at our Community Safety Division down here at the City Center. And they're free to the public, and we have as many as they need. So even if you have family members that don't live in the community and you'd like to send some of those out, we've got plenty of copies for them.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. A wealth of information, and I'm sure you've got plenty more. But
Well, thanks for having me, and I appreciate it. And everyone stay safe this holiday season.
All right, thank you. There you have it from the Greeley Fire Department. Some tips to help keep you and your family and your house safe this season. And to get more details, you can go to their website as well. It's greeleygov.com/services/fire.